Wow. Is that an official position of political cadence, that the Trump shooting was faked?
Well, that's the one cut scene that Rob put in that I did not endorse.
I see.
So that is not what I'm trying to say. I'm not in favor of conspiracy theories, but I do like the effort. I like the new splash screen. Other than that, but
it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, you did a good job on it. But we're back for another political cadence, and this time we have our
on the Antisocial Network.
On the Antisocial Network, we have our esteemed friend, Mr. Will Cooper, author of Stress Test: How Trump Threatens American Democracy. Is that right? Well, among other things.
That's right.
Sounded right.
Yeah. How America works and why it doesn't.
That's right too.
And also a new book that's coming out that's on the precipice of being released, right, on the infamous Donald Rumsfeld. Right.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
You did. Thanks, Phil. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. It's good to have friends back.
Yes.
So things have advanced since the last time we had you on, I think. We were talking about the political climate at the time, and you were very reassuring that the judicial system was working, that Trump was losing a lot of federal cases, and that democracy was actually holding up during the current stress test. So I guess it's a good time to get a progress report.
Yeah. Time to look at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Well, I think our politics seem to only get worse with time, and I think probably at an all-time low. All-time is not the right way to put it, but of this horrible decade or so of Trump era politics, and of course it didn't all start right when Trump showed up, in terms of being dysfunctional, but throughout this whole decade or so where Trump's been at the helm of the Republican Party, probably never been worse in terms of the dysfunction and the rancor, the real
the rhetoric on both sides.
Rhetoric on both sides. I'm trying to sum it up, and I'm having trouble because there's so much out there that's not what you would want it to be. So I think we are at an all-time low in that sense of this era, and it seems to only get worse. If we reconvene, I think we last spoke 3 months ago. If we reconvene in 3 months, my guess is it's worse than it is today, because the trends are moving in the wrong direction with momentum. And when things are moving with momentum in the wrong direction, they get worse, not better. So So I certainly think that, and I'm guessing, Will, I don't know your views, but I'm guessing the other folks here would agree with what I just said. I think in terms of the institutions of government itself, which overlaps with but is not the same thing as the politics, I think there's a lot more reason for optimism and a lot more not that things are getting better or peaking in a good way, but I think things are holding up a lot worse. It's sort of a free fall in the political arena. I don't see that same free fall across the board when it comes to the workings of government.
Right.
So
now,
I was go ahead, Will. I'm sorry.
I was going to say the fact that in 2016 I left the Democratic Party and became a progressive independent. I do agree with the rest of the guys on a lot of things. And right now, I think the choice of words, there's two of them that can be inserted here, which I think would be fitting. One would be historical, excuse me, and the other would be epic in the way that Trump's administration is going about things.
Can I just say, and then we'll jump right back to this. I really like your hat. You've got me beat with the red. The Reds beat my beloved Oakland A's in the World Series, and the Niners beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl. So I feel like we have the same name, and we're also even when it comes to sports. I couldn't resist.
And actually, Will lives in Sacramento now, so the A's just swept the Reds, I think, last.
Yeah, they got a small measure of revenge last weekend.
I'm kind of I'm near Sacramento. I don't live in Sacramento, but I'm in Northern California.
Other Will
but
lives in Will H lives in Sacramento.
Okay. Oh, cool. But no, that's a good comment, Will. I think those are good words as well.
So I've been reading. I read an article that said that a lot of federal judges are becoming very frustrated with the Supreme Court and constantly being overruled, and appellate courts that are overruling the some of the rulings by federal courts. And I'm just wondering, I mean, is that an area of utmost concern that the Supreme Court seems to be completely shackled to Trump and really just giving him the anvil to just hammer at anything he wants almost? I mean, where's the judicial system going to actually put a halt to this? You know,
I don't think that's. I respectfully don't think that's true. Supreme Court's ruled against Trump a lot, repeatedly for a long time, and appellate courts are ruling against him, and lots of district courts are ruling against him. And what you want is with the judiciary is orders that go both directions. You don't want pro-Trump only, and you don't want anti-Trump only, because they set the rules that go forward. But if every time Trump wins, people freak out, and then every time he loses, nobody says anything, you get a really distorted picture. But if you actually look at the cases, the Supreme Court has ruled against Trump repeatedly, and in major cases, they let the January 6th committee get his documents, which turned into his federal prosecution. They rejected his plea to have his New York conviction overturned. They ruled against him on DACA. There's lots of other things going against him. Roberts and Trump.
In the second term, it doesn't seem to be much going against him.
Roberts and Trump are antagonistic. They have issues. Sometimes he rules for him. Sometimes he rules against him. There have been rulings. There have only been a small number of rulings in the second term that are really high profile, and they haven't all gone Trump's way. So I just think that's completely not true.
I've got some stats from this thing called Litigation Tracker, but I got to shut my dog up first. We got it packaged.
If that were true, Phil, I'd be a lot more worried, because I think the Republicans in Congress, who have majorities in both houses, are slavishly devoted to Trump. He's using the executive branch in ways that are very disturbing. We've seen that just this week with the FCC chairman. So if what you were saying was true, in my view, that'd be very concerning. But I think the judiciary is really ruled against Trump ad nauseum at all
Alligator
levels.
Alcatraz is one example. I mean, they were going to shut down Alligator Alcatraz. The federal court decided that they needed to shut it down, and the Supreme Court intervened and allowed them to remain open. Right?
Every president, every term gets rulings for them and against them. Every time. And it's never been different. And over the next 3 years, Trump's going to have a lot of wins and a lot of losses. But if just because he's got wins doesn't mean that Amy Coney Barrett is a MAGA hates her. She was a Trump appointee. She's ruled in ways that against him that they really dislike. I think Alito and Thomas are totally on board in ways that are concerning. Roberts and Trump have been antagonists for a long time. I don't see that changing. So yes, Alligator Alcatraz was disappointing in terms of the result, and there have been other disappointments.
Final result, or is that kicked back down to a lower court?
I'm actually not sure.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be interested in Aaron's statistics from. You brought this up earlier.
So it says there's currently 350 active cases challenging Trump administrative actions, and 13 suits by the Trump administration challenging state or local laws. 53 suits or appeals have been dismissed. 16 Supreme Court stays or order to vacate lower court orders. 1 Supreme Court affirmation of the lower court order. 9 suits where the judges ruled for the federal government, and 28 where judges ruled against the federal government. So it's 28-9 against the federal government right now, with 363 suits pending.
Yeah, that'll ebb and flow and change throughout the next 3 years.
Yeah.
What's that?
Mm-hmm. That feels like a preponderance to me.
Well, there's
so three times as many cases against Trump as for Trump.
Oh, there's way more. 350 challenging Trump, and then 13.
No, but the results are 28-9, right?
Yeah, the results are triple.
The only thing that matters is the result.
28 no, 9 yes.
But there's like
28 Trump losses, 9 Trump wins. There's 3 times as many losses as wins.
From the Supreme Court.
And
no, from the judiciary as a whole.
There's like 25 times as many cases where Trump is the defendant than as where he's the plaintiff too.
Yeah.
And let me just say what worries me the most is the Supreme Court and the not so much the federal judiciary, but the Supreme Court, because there have been cases that I was like, that's got to be a slam dunk. And the Supreme Court ruled with him.
I've said on several occasions.
Since January. I am concerned about since January. I'm sorry, go ahead, Will.
I was going to say, I've said on many occasions that the conservative majority, when they granted what Trump felt was presidential immunity, the only thing that they succeeded in doing was digging their own graves, because now Trump's taking the ball and he's just absolutely running with it.
Yeah, they did kind of cut their own
the immunity
feet off.
Yeah. Right. The immunity, I believe we covered that a little bit your last time on, but the immunity was just right from the top. That was very disturbing. I mean, I didn't know anything about Project 2025. I just kept hearing, you should read it. It's the playbook. It's ominous. And these things that are happening, starting with the Supreme Court giving him this immunity, is by the book. And what I was thinking the other day, as I'll try to get this across real quick. I was thinking about football. If you think of this as like a football game, and you in 2020 Project 2025 being your playbook for the first 15 plays, they've executed every freaking play of that, and they say they're near the end of that window. Everything is clicked, everything's working. They're up 14-0 with the football. I mean, are they going to be able to take this power that they seem to be wrenching away from the American people and execute their game plan beyond that? Because they say we're already in it. I mean, the people that I listen to a lot of podcasters like Steve Schmidt and Kyle Kowalski, and I listen to the I've Had It ladies. They can be a little dramatic, but I listen to them.
I don't know who any of those people are.
The perception is that we're already at the end of the Project 2025 plan, and that it's going to be hard to unwind a lot of this, legislation that is tying the hands of the American people and giving the power to the executive. So, I mean, is it rash to think that? I mean, because when we've had you on, you seem to you do tell us that we seem to be rash.
The rhetoric
or concerned.
The rhetoric on podcasts and in the public square is very overheated. I think if you look at what's actually happening, it's different in a lot of ways. In some ways, it's the same, and in a lot of ways, it's different. But Phil, what's an example? You just said a conclusion that Project 25 has been implemented and we can't get it back. It's been taken for the president. The people can't get it back. Can you provide an example? Because I'm not seeing that.
Yeah.
I think they're getting a lot of things done, but can't be reversed through legislation. I don't understand that. Well, can you give me an example?
Presidential immunity?
That's not Project.
Well, the presidential
No.
immunity. I mean,
Well, let me say
No.
number one, that's not Project 25 or Trump. That was a Supreme Court decision. The presidential immunity decision, we could talk about that for an hour, but that says once you leave office, you can't be prosecuted unless it's outside of your action. So that's protecting Biden and Obama right now from Trump's DOJ. Doesn't make it the right decision, but I think we need to be aware of kind of what that decision means. But
yeah,
Bill, you asked me for an example. I do have an example, and
Okay.
that would be the usage of the National Guard for non-military civilian.
but that can be rolled back.
American people.
the next president the first 5 seconds he's in office could rescind that and send him back. So that's disturbing and concerning, and that's a real problem. So just
what
because
about
I don't
gerrymandering?
think gerrymandering can be undone through a variety of mechanisms. Number one, the legislature can undo what the previous legislature did in each state. You can also have a constitutional amendment in any of the 50 states that prevents it. And the judiciary in those states can overrule what the legislature's done. So there's a handful of ways all of that can be unwound. Gerrymandering is a huge problem. It's very concerning. So I don't want my statements where I think the rhetoric is going too far to suggest that I'm not concerned, because I am. Our politics are an absolute mess. Gerrymandering is one of the quintessential examples of that. But I think going from there to saying Project 25 has been fully implemented and can't be unwound is a step too far. And I just think it's important to have proportion in today's climate, because that's lacking often.
Well, tearing apart the
Well, he's trying to
FBI
take
and
a
the
census.
DOJ
Like-
is part of Project 2025 and will be kind of difficult to rewind.
I didn't hear you. What, Aaron?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
The
What about
the firing of all the FBI agents and the tearing apart of the DOJ. I think Kash Patel's fired 5,000
part of
FBI
the-
agents so far. That's going to be kind of hard to roll back to get a repopulated FBI.
Yeah, the dismantling of government agencies. These are things that would be more difficult. They're not done
Like
with
the
an
EPA
executive
stuff can
order.
be rolled back and everything else, but getting the people that can do these jobs back in a position, getting qualified people back is going to be tricky.
Right. But aren't these? They're kind of self-perpetuating, right? You're talking about, okay, it's going to be a future administration roll back these executive orders. Well, not if the gerrymandering and and these things that are part of Project 2025 are successful in executing. You may never.
That's
get
the
to
thing
see
is
football again.
somebody has to vote
You
for
may be on the
for the
sideline.
other team next time.
Right.
I mean, we're all making an
That's how
assumption there's going to
government-
be in a
that's how government-
midterm, and there's
that-
going to be another.
that's how government works. The party in power passes laws, and then the new power comes in and reverses them if they win the elections. There's nothing about gerrymandering that can't be reversed, and that's a state level issue. On the firing stuff, I mean, I think it's really unfortunate. A lot of the firings, especially really quality people, and they're clearly just trying to purge these institutions of people that don't, that are not loyal to them. That's a huge problem. You can certainly hire people back, and it's also the case. And I'm not saying that would get you back to where you were. I think you're right that there'd be some damage that would persist. But rolling back government has been a platform of Republicans for decades. So they won the election. They're rolling back government. I don't think that's some sinister new thing. And there's, I think, how many hundreds of thousands of people in the Department of Justice, and single-digit thousands have been fired. I'm not endorsing it. I just don't think that's, should generate hysteria. Not that it is on this call, but I just think it's.
No, we're not hysterical.
Okay,
Not you. Not you.
Like you said, though.
Not you, Phil.
Like you said, though.
Okay.
Like you said, Will, we've been having to deal with this rollback of government for decades, but not to this level that the Trump administration is taking it. I mean, there's been a lot of departments that have just been absolutely gutted.
Yep.
And it's not just the DOJ and the FBI.
Anything to do with science has been gutted.
Yay. Yep.
Yeah.
And
A lot of damage has been done, for sure. I don't disagree with that.
That lady, I can't remember if she's in the House or Congress, and I can't remember her name, but she's basically the person that things go to her, and she's like, nope, you can't do that. And she's nonpartisan, 100%. But they want to roll back, they want to politicize the civil service, which means with the schedule proposal.
The Senate parliamentarian, is that who you're talking about?
Huh?
I think
yes.
the parliamentarian.
Yes. And her job is to kind of say, wait a minute, you can't really do that for this reason.
Right.
And
she's
and
basically
that
the rules
would be
person.
politicized, and she could be replaced with a political loyalist. Okay. The restriction, reproductive rights.
That can be rolled back.
Well, what about when he
these are all really good. These are all really good points, and
to criminalize the mailing of pills and other related materials, effectively creating a national abortion ban. This policy could face legal challenges, but the conservative judiciary of Project 2025 support could make it difficult to overturn. A future administration would need to navigate legal and political hurdles. Environmental rollbacks.
Yeah, these are
cuts
great points.
To climate research. Well, I am reading it. It's
well,
not,
no, it's a great. But what were you going to say about that?
Okay.
I don't. My sense, I could be wrong, is that we're pretty far away from a national abortion ban.
I don't.
Think so. That doesn't. I could be missing it, but I haven't. What I hear from conservatives typically is that it's an issue for the states. That's what reversing Roe did. It's a huge leap from this is an issue for the states to we're going to pass legislation banning it across the country. And I've heard Republicans, some of them say they don't want that, but maybe I'm just not aware of that majority.
Here's my problem.
That would be very.
A lot of Republicans say, I don't want that. I don't think that's a good idea. Yep. When they vote. So they're talking out one side and
the national abortion ban is just a very extreme.
It's not actually a national abortion ban. It's the inability to mail abortion and other, like birth control. Okay. So they want to stop them from mailing it nationally. So like you would have to go to some place to get it. And if you live in a state that bans it, you're going to have to go to another state.
So they're putting up more obstacles. So
Yes,
the poor
they are
people,
building
people without health
obstacles
care,
that
people
makes it
without
difficult.
means to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, of course, kind of F's their own plan, because if they keep the poor people away from it, the brown people are less likely to get birth control, and they will have more children than the pale people who can maybe afford it, that they prefer, because they want these rich people, these women, to stay home and raise babies, to
It's
get more
basically
of
population
their
control.
people. Do what?
It's basically population control.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, they want more of their kind of people.
There is a eugenics aspect to the
Yes.
MAGA agenda,
Right.
I think.
And there's
Mhm.
definitely a Christian
budgetary-
nationalism aspect to Project 2025.
Exactly, because they wrote it. Budgetary changes. Proposals to cut and restructure government funding, especially food assistance, and eliminating Head Start education.
Well, here I got a question for Will Cooper. So what about when the president drops one of these bombs like, "Oh, Mr. Zelensky, you were able to retain power because you were engaged in war with the Soviet, with Russia." That's something, maybe that's something I can look at, for the midterms, or for the next presidential election. I'm sorry, that and then he starts up these little skirmishes with, he's going to beat up on Venezuela. He's going to start shooting, their what he perceives to be drug running boats out of the water, just out of nowhere. Is it? I mean, this is another apparatus by which he can hold on to power, right? I mean, isn't that?
I'm very concerned about that area. Yeah, I think in domestically with the courts and potentially a Democratic Congress, state and local governments, his powers are very limited in lots of ways. We see it every day, especially state and local government right now, and the federal judiciary, where he doesn't have his majorities. But in the foreign affairs arena, those checks aren't there. And we know from Trump, we've gotten to know Trump over the years, and he'll do anything to cling to power. We've seen that, and that's a very scary proposition.
Right. That's kind of what keeps
I'm not
me
going
up.
to calm you down in that area. That's not an area where I'm going to make anybody feel better. I think domestically things are. No, state and local government are huge bulwarks against him, and I think if the Democrats can get just a few seats in one chamber, you'll see dramatic differences. But in foreign affairs, and he does not have strong.
The Democrats need to.
Well, the one glaring thing for me when it comes to foreign affairs is how Trump keeps threatening to take our military and invade Greenland.
Yeah.
That's a problem, because now you're not only are you threatening Greenland and Denmark, you're threatening NATO.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, Will. And I also think, let's just play this out a few steps. Okay, so what happens if Trump does try to use the military to cling to power? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the last step in political analysis is force. That's what it comes down to. And ultimately the generals, and it's mind-boggling that we're even having this discussion, because until Trump, this discussion was never had. But in this country, it happens all around the world, but in this country, you didn't talk like this. But now with Trump, we actually have to talk about it. We know that the Secretary of Defense is a slavish Trump sycophant. We know that. And totally unqualified, not going to stand up to Trump. The military itself and the generals do have a history of standing up to Trump and doing so very forcefully.
Yeah,
Trump's trying to purge
the ones
He's tried, but you can't fire everybody.
At
Their
least one of
military's
them,
got
or two.
millions of people
Kelly.
in it. I don't know the answer to this question, but
Okay.
the question should be asked: if Trump goes too far, will the military say no? And I think Mark Milley,
They have
who had
to.
a
They
huge
should.
fight with
They're supposed to.
Yeah, he
Trump,
said no.
would have. He said no. Where are we now?
Said,
I don't
no,
know
I
the
won't
answer
shoot
to
those
that.
protesters' legs.
Right. He did say that.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do that?
Trump was
I mean,
Trump and the military had major problems in his first term. It wasn't just refusing order; they had huge issues. I have to think some of that tension's still there, but I don't know how much.
Yeah, he does seem to get rid of a lot of generals and admirals and highly
At this
ranked
point-
officers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think
at
that's a
this
really
point-
hard
Yeah,
culture
because
to
he-
just completely erase and rebuild, though.
I'm sorry,
What's
Will
that?
Holloway.
Because
What
he
was I saying?
feels he knows more than they do, basically. According,
Yeah.
leave it to
I
Trump.
think
He's the end all of everything.
Yeah.
And how many cities are the National Guard in right now? I think
let's
they
see.
moved out of LA, but I'm not one sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm
No,
not sure.
they're still there. They're still there.
Okay.
Now they're in
So he's in
Chicago.
LAPD,
three
did you go to
American
Memphis?
cities now with the National
Yup.
Guard.
He's in
DC.
And I
Memphis.
say it's he.
Chicago. He's got
Oh,
New York in his
I thought he
sights.
skipped Chicago. Did he go to Chicago?
No,
Not
there
yet.
are.
Pritzker
No,
scared
he
him
went
off
to
a minute.
Memphis. He didn't go to Chicago yet.
Yeah,
He
he
threatened, but
turned his sights
Chicago,
on Memphis after that.
right. He pivoted to Memphis. My other thing on that is, I mean, I'm worried about the army that is loyal to him. As in the guys who show up at your house in face masks with no identification.
Ice.
Oh, ICE, yeah.
Yes.
Not-
And they did not swear to the Constitution. They swear to the president.
there are so many
And
things.
He has, and they
You said that
brilliant
last episode,
at
Lisa,
it.
but it was not true. They do have to swear to the Constitution and not
Oh,
the
they do?
president. Yeah.
But there are
Still,
so many
I mean-
things that seem to parallel National Socialists. Now, I know they get upset when you call them
Tendencies, and we're not
Nazis.
saying that word.
they're fascists, but stop doing fascist shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Actually,
and
Stop
then maybe
acting
we
like
will not
it,
get
and we won't
labeled
call
that way.
you it.
Actually, guys,
Charlie
today
Kirk, Horst Wessel, Charlie Kirk, nothing should have happened to him. It was terrible
Mhm.
tragedy.
Absolutely.
Nobody
None of them should have been
to be
shot.
nobody. Political violence should be, it should be
It shouldn't
resisted
be accepted.
in
Mhm.
any form. But to lionize this guy, he's right out of the MAGA is taking it right out of National Socialist or fascist playbook to lionize someone like Kirk, like Horst Wessel. They're leveraging things for propaganda gains that parallel Nazi history to a T. And you're
Giant
not
pictures
allowed
of
to
Trump
point-
are being unfurled on buildings in DC now too.
Exactly. You're not supposed to point that out. When are you supposed to point it out? When people start getting
When American
disappeared?
citizens
I mean,
disappear to
it's like
Venezuela or Alligator Alcatraz.
they call it rhetoric, but the dialogue would not be happening if they were not doing things that if you read National Socialist history or World War II history, things that led up to the rule of the Nazi Party, they are doing things like that. There is no question.
And
Right.
Kristi Noem recently went on an ICE raid, and they raided the house of American citizens.
ICE is a Praetorian
There were
guard.
nobody was
Mhm.
an illegal.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the wrong
they
house.
still went forward with the arrest, and
what
then
I was going to say, guys,
advertised it all over the internet.
Anyway,
what I was going to
Okay,
say was
sorry.
today, Gavin Newsom actually signed into state law that ICE people they're banned from wearing masks in the state of
Yeah.
California now.
Well, that's great. That's
That is
that's a step in the
wonderful.
right
Heard
direction.
today.
Maybe we should move to California. You might be going the wrong direction, Will H.
You can't do shit. You can't do things in a
Mhm.
nefarious, fascist way and then expect people not to call you out on it.
And especially because, he says that that's wrong. And here's the thing, Jimmy Kimmel didn't lie. There were no lies in what I saw. And we don't watch Kimmel normally. We're not usually up. But
It's the First Amendment. It's
yeah,
not Jimmy Kimmel.
It's the First Amendment. And he didn't lie. He just showed video and gave an opinion. He showed actual video of Trump saying, "Oh, how are you doing after Charlie Kirk? Oh, I'm fine. Look at the ballroom."
Look at the ballroom.
That
It's going to be
was a
great.
fact. He did it.
They
He
wanted
said
this for
it,
150
it's on video.
years.
He showed absolutely no remorse, no feelings
no.
whatsoever.
And
It was, as always, all about him. It's all about Trump 24/7. It's the Trump channel, all Trump, all the time.
Well, what did Adolf Hitler want to model Berlin? He wanted to model it after Rome. He wanted to impress people that came in to his capital to see all this architecture that Albert Speer, created for him to intimidate, his own people and visitors. That's a lot to unpack.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
We're all wound up here, aren't we? Will has to go get a drink, I guess.
Oh, I'm gonna have it. We bought this wine. It's called Stella Rosa, pineapple.
I love the passion, and I agree with plenty of what was said. I agree with plenty of what was said. The way I think about politics is just try to reach subject that's before me and not try to blend things together beyond what they should be. And I think Trump is as bad as his worst critics in some ways, and I also think his critics are overly dramatic in other ways. I think the Hitler comparison doesn't make much sense, to be perfectly honest. I think Hitler murdered millions of people, and I don't see that being a straight line from where we are today at all. I don't think.
Excuse me.
I don't even think that's possible. I just think I think it's too much. I think Trump's the worst president in American history. I think he threatens the country and the world in lots of ways, but I don't think he's Hitler.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my thing.
Actually,
I don't think he's ever going to be anything close
He's not,
to that.
but he does follow some of the playbook. The big picture
He does, and politics is a continuum, right? So, Hitler and Mussolini and all them were politicians, and they did things that other politicians did to extremes, and the same sort of thing that could be a part of their playbook can be part of a playbook that doesn't end in millions of people getting murdered. So Trump is a shameless showman who plays to people's most base instincts politically, and he lies and he cheats and he robs the country from the White House to line his own pockets. And he's even worse than Hitler and Mussolini in some ways, because even Hitler and Mussolini would say, well, that's stupid and people won't agree with that. That's too far. Whereas Trump will go twice as far as that. But you have to look at what they're actually doing as a result of their, positions of influence. And Trump's not beheading Chuck Schumer, like there are differences between what he's doing and other people. And a lot of the things that people are saying about Trump, Trump just sued the New York Times. It was very disturbing. His lawsuits against media institutions are very disturbing.
It was dismissed, right?
2 days later, it was dismissed. That didn't happen to Hitler. Hitler controlled the judiciary. So there's huge differences here, and I think it's important to recognize that.
Can the Wall Street Journal countersue Trump for $10 billion?
Yeah.
Because Trump's got that immunity.
Oh, the immunity has nothing to do with that. The immunity is for criminal acts that
Okay,
are
so civil.
that
Yes,
are
good.
outside of your official acts. So the immunity is protecting Obama and Biden from Kash Patel and Pam Bondi right now.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says that, but that's the impact of the decision, and it's going to protect Trump
It was said right
when
after
he
Trump
leaves. And
wanted,
he knows that, and
Trump
he
said he
knows
wanted
that.
to go
He
after
knows that.
Obama, and then they told him, I think, hey, they can't. We got
No.
that immunity law.
John Ross,
Will
yeah.
Ward-
But Biden and Obama are the ones that currently have the immunity. Trump already has the immunity as president, so it doesn't kick in until you leave office. So it's right now, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden and George Bush are the people that are actually the
Love it.
recipients of the immunity.
Love
Nobody
it.
seems to
Not
say
until-
that when they're trashing that opinion.
Not until he flies off in his
Still-
car.
I don't think they should have immunity either.
I'm not saying it made it the right decision. I'm just saying, like, people, that's a really big, that decision is a really big question. I think we would need a whole show, but I'm happy.
This half dozen
Yeah.
people are above the law.
The
I
civil
was going to
service,
say, Will,
Yeah.
Will H.
To get back to the Trump not murdering people, in a way, there's a possibility that he will,
Certain
because
people
of
sending
who is
back to
control
dangerous
of the
companies.
CDC
countries.
right now.
Because of
Of
what?
the who?
I see what you're saying.
Because of who's in control of the CDC right now, which is
That's true.
RFK
He's
Jr.
going to kill plenty of
I
people
think-
there
In that
I think-
respect, I mean,
yeah,
not
I think-
directly murdering, but
through neglect.
It's
and neglect.
all presidents have blood on their hands to some extent. Trump more so than others. You do know
Oh, I mean,
Obama
you think
deported
murder
more.
hits.
You know Obama
I firmly
deported
believe
more
it.
people than Trump, right? Are you guys
Uh-huh.
aware of that?
I know.
Yep.
And
So
but
when you have that much
when
power,
did he not
people-
allow the due process to happen?
no,
When
and
you have
and
8 years.
I'm not
This
saying
is
they're the
over
same.
8 years.
No, I think Obama's was per year more. But that I'm not
Yeah,
saying
but-
Obama's
but-
immigration
No, it
policy
hasn't
was
finished the year
was
yet.
the same.
It's
Trump's
just
is
one
much more
Draconian.
much worse in a
Draconian.
variety of ways. But yeah,
Right,
what
but my
Trump
concern-
the suspension
sorry.
of foreign aid that Trump and Musk is going to probably already killed, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people maybe.
Yeah.
So
And
Will
see
H, it's a great
American
citizens.
point. It's a great
That's still in
point
the
in that
courts,
respect. But I think I got reversed, I believe, and I don't think a lot of here's a good example of what we were talking about earlier. A lot of the cancellations that Trump did were reversed in the court, and then Trump caved. Nobody ever talks about that because it's not exciting. So
Yeah.
Trump canceled $4 billion of local education money was canceled by Trump and Musk. They lost in court, and then they released the money. They didn't even appeal.
Right.
So a lot of this stuff's already getting reversed by the judiciary.
Okay.
And that's happening all
Now,
over the place.
But here's my
What
concern.
about the
Here's my concern.
what about the social?
As of
Go
yesterday,
ahead. Sorry.
the people that are overseen by RFK Jr. are now saying, "Hey, you know what? If you want to get a vaccine, it's up to you."
They've already been. Well, that's one of the problems.
It's scary, yeah. I don't
Well, they're
understand that very
requiring
well.
Like
but
the
it's
state of
very
Florida,
scary.
the state of Florida has completely washed all
really is.
responsibility for getting vaccines for children.
They want to require a prescription from a doctor in some
Mhm.
state. I don't know if
You know,
that's the case in Florida,
And,
but that's
I
one.
think that's kind of state by state. No, not Florida. I mean, I guess you can, but there's
They-
no requirement.
They
You
got
can
rid of
choose.
quote all vaccine mandates.
Right,
unquote.
and all vaccine
I've
mandates.
got
Well,
a-
basically,
So that
This
is
has been
scary.
wonderful. I do have to run in just a moment. I don't know if
Time to run.
Phil or
Thanks for
Aaron or
joining
any-
us.
Yeah. Any last thoughts or questions? I really
Well, where's
appreciate
that- where's
the
that-
time.
Hold on.
Where
Hold
can
on.
where can people find your work
Social service
and your
cuts
blue sky?
in the big
What's that?
beautiful in the big, beautiful bill, social service cuts.
Those can be rolled back.
They can be rolled back, but they're still very upsetting. And I hate to see, I think of all the things that have happened so far in that realm, cutting off all that aid to needy people around the world was very sad, because you can't roll back people not getting their medicine that they need, right?
And then, of course, the whole thing about Gaza is a show in and of itself.
Right. The Gaza, that's shit right there. But what about Epstein? Epstein, we should not ever stop talking about Epstein. Where the hell's that at?
I have nothing to add.
Cash Patel says there's only one name on the list. Yeah. It's Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, we're going to keep asking that one. Yeah.
I don't think anything's ever going to happen, but.
Yep. Where can people find your work and your Blue Sky and everything else, Will?
Thanks, Aaron. So I'm on Blue Sky, wcooper.books. And my latest book is a novel. It's The Trial of Donald H. Rumsfeld. Puts Rumsfeld on court at the International Criminal Court. On trial at the International Criminal Court.
So it's fiction?
It's fiction, yeah. It's alternative history.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like alternative history.
Oh, yeah, I do like that.
We have pre-ordered the book.
Harry Turtledove. We did pre-order the book. All right, well, we really appreciate every time you come on. We know that you're a busy man with a lot of
thanks.
Do you have like 3 more minutes?
Thanks for cooling us down.
No, I can do 3 more minutes, and I just wanted to.
Let's do the 8. We're gonna do our little game show. Hun, I can't read it.
This might be more than 3. All right.
Okay, 5, maybe up to 5.
We call these our F-ups of the fortnight. All right, here we go. Trump tells reporters to report favorably or lose credentials versus Fox not firing Brian Kilmeade. Which is the biggest F-up?
Brian Kilmeade for saying kill the homeless.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I agree with Aaron. That's 2. What do you got,
3.
Will Cooper?
Agreed.
That's 4. What about you, Will Holloway?
I have to agree.
All right. So, all right. The next one.
It's a sweep.
Cash Patel says court orders prevent him from releasing the Epstein files versus Hakeem Jeffries endorses Charlie Kirk Day. Which is a bigger F-up?
Cash Patel.
Patel. Okay. So Cash Patel.
I'm going to dissent.
All right.
Okay. Because
you just don't feel like moving.
The lady from Cincinnati.
I don't think there should be a Charlie Kirk Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Unless there is a what's the name of the
I think
lady
it's just a
who got
concession for
killed
something else.
Was it
Melissa Horton?
Yeah, unless there's a Melissa Horton Day. And Charlie Kirk isn't even a government official.
Well, that truly is another podcast. Here we go. Carolyn Levitt takes on John Legend. We just learned about this one. And John Legend was none too happy about it.
About what?
Versus FCC threat against Kimmel triggering a lawsuit.
It doesn't matter about what, because it's going to be the FCC weaponizing the FCC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree, but what happened with John Legend?
Basically, he took Levitt to the woodshed after she basically just all out assaulted him.
Over what? A political opinion?
His views, his thoughts.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Everything.
Yeah.
I want to see that. My favorite
What's the next one, Phil?
Is like "I'm Gonna Lose You" by Meghan Trainor and John Legend. It's a beautiful song. Like "I'm Gonna Lose You"
3
by
minutes.
Meghan Trainor and John Legend. It's the most beautiful song ever. I sing it to Philip on a regular basis because I want him to know how much I appreciate him. If you love your significant other,
next matchup,
sing it
please.
to them.
Bill Maher has Tom Holman on Politically Incorrect and basically kisses his ass while giving some cursory resistance to bullshit he was giving up. Versus, not to be prejudiced at all, but Trump not knowing about Melissa Hortman murder despite having been briefed about it at the time in June of last year. So we got Bill Maher versus.
I'm going to end on these great words because they apply so much. Trump is worse.
Yeah.
That,
cheers. Thanks,
I
Will.
gotta run. If that's okay.
All
Thank
right,
you very much. Let's do it again soon. I always appreciate it.
Or he's being a liar. It doesn't
Always
matter.
glad to have you.
Yeah, love to
Thank
have you
you.
on every time.
Thanks,
man. It's a
everybody.
discussion.
Yeah, I love it. It's been years.
Thank
We've been
you.
doing it for years. I love it.
It has.
Yep.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All
Love
right.
to have you
Thank
on
you.
again. Please let us know. Well, especially when your book comes out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right,
All right.
so we'll finish up the Elite Eight here because we still got the second round. I don't think Will knew about
Yeah.
that, but here we go.
It doesn't matter.
That's all
Run
right.
Kilmeade versus Cash Patel.
Cash Patel.
Kilmeade.
Okay.
I'm going with Kilmeade.
I'm going with Kilmeade too because
Yeah.
that was fucking
Kill
Kill
the
the
euthanasia.
homeless?
man. That's
I mean, my brother would have been euthanized
yeah.
at one point.
Well, just think about it. You lose
Yeah,
your
but he'd have
job.
come back to life.
That's true.
Let's say you lose your
Come on,
job.
Aaron.
The succession of events you have no
He's
control.
died
You
3
lose your
times.
job, you lose your home. You're trying to
Mhm.
survive. Fucking paddy wagon with ICE shows up, pulls you off the street. Before you know it, you're on the list. You know,
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
it's fucking insane that he would say that and still have his job. Anyway,
Yeah.
so FCC versus Trump.
Well,
The FCC,
Which Trump one?
the FCC threat against Kimmel triggered.
Trump Horton.
Yeah,
Oh,
they got a
lying
$1.8
about
billion
not
dollar.
yeah,
Huh?
weaponizing the FCC.
Okay,
Yep.
Will.
FCC.
FCC. I'm gonna go with the FCC too.
I'm going to throw one to
Fucking
Trump,
dude.
but it's close.
What's that dude's name? The head of the
I'm just
FCC?
giving him I don't want him to be a sweep without him being horrible.
Meadows or something.
Who? What dude?
The guy from the FCC he looks like a hard-boiled egg.
Oh, Cash or Crash or something, or I don't know. The one that was like saying all the gangster shit, like we're gonna do this the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah, that guy.
Mhm.
Do this the easy way or the hard way.
Here, I'm looking it
Yeah,
up.
trying to be mafia.
Yeah, he thinks he's Tony Soprano or something.
FCC Mafia speech.
Even Ted Cruz saw that.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
And
scary
Ben
when I agree
Shapiro.
with Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Right.
So finally, Kilmeade versus FCC.
Mm,
FCC.
yeah,
Please.
Huh?
Kilmeade versus FCC.
I'm going to go with the FCC on that one because it's longer reaching.
yeah.
Here it is.
All right.
What's
FCC
his
wins the
name?
Elite Eight. All right. Do we want to end it there for the week? Or do we have more
Yeah.
we want to talk about?
Well,
Do we want to?
We only have about 5 minutes remaining here. It'd be nice to end it
Brendan Carr.
with Brendan Carr. That's it.
Brendan Carr.
Brendan
Yeah.
Carr? All right, Aaron. What were you saying?
It would be nice to end it without being about to go over for once.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Will, do you have any last? What about how's it going today
Levitt versus
in
Lincoln.
Sacramento after there was this gunfire at the TV station? Have they untangled that? What the hell's going on with that?
Right now, they're still looking for the gunman and the driver. They ruled that it was a drive-by shooting, but fortunately, nobody was injured.
Do they think it was politically motivated? Like,
Oh, for a
Uh,
second there, I thought you said unfortunately. I was like, what?
No, fortunately,
There were like protesters outside the TV station.
okay,
I don't know if it
at,
was.
at the time of the shooting,
know-
there was
I don't know.
nobody. At the time of the
Oh.
shooting, there was nobody, according to CBS 13. But they do believe it was behind the firing of Jimmy Kimmel.
okay, wow. So people can't be. We can't stress enough that violence. You know,
Is
we
not
do not
okay.
endorse violence in any
No.
way. This mischaracterization that the left
Yeah,
is
we're
like
totally
It's
against
not
violence.
tolerated.
is completely false. I mean, that is incendiary for them to
Yeah.
present
Stop
this
beating your
narrative.
husband, Lisa.
Yeah. Well, yeah, please.
Mm.
But that's what's so infuriating is that they throw out these falsehoods that, you know, they're trying to say all of this activity is caused by people on the left when the statistics show absolutely the opposite. Fucking Just Dance Vance goes on fucking Charlie Kirk's podcast and tries to tell you the things that Charlie Kirk is on record as saying on video is not what he actually said, and then actually plays it to contradict himself.
Yeah.
And sits there as if they totally are. They're drunk with fucking power to think that that's going to go over. That people are going to see that and be fooled by it. Anyway, we're going to have an
There's
adverse.
that big quote about how he wanted to see executions on TV, and imagine if Coca-Cola sponsored them, it'd be so American and patriotic.
Yeah,
And children
Well,
should watch them.
Yeah, at a certain age, as initiation, children should be required to watch. And people are commenting on my thing. Oh, why to take things out of context? And I'm like, well, tell me, in what context are these words acceptable?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to pick your jaw off the floor when you hear somebody talking about DEI hires and with the mockery and the way he talks about.
Yeah. If I see a black pilot, I think to myself, oh, I hope he's qualified. That guy. That
Right.
quote.
It's exactly.
Real fast, guys. I was going to say how Trump is now trying to make Antifa a terrorist organization now.
What?
Yeah.
And it's
But-
not even an organization.
Right. It's just
But
it's just a
exactly. But here's
description.
the thing: if you want to go after Antifa, then you might want to go after the originals, which was the
World War II.
Marines. The
World War I.
Marines. No, the Marines when
Yeah.
they went into Normandy.
Right. The original Antifa.
Original OG Antifa.
Right. Oh, so frustrating. But Aaron's right. We should take it as a gift that we actually got this in under an hour
Yeah.
without
We're coming up
having
on 58 minutes. So.
Yeah.
Okay, the
But thank you
Carolyn
for joining
Levitt
us on the
versus
Antisocial
John Lennon.
Network.
Oh,
This has been Political Cadence from the podcast with
Yep.
Lisa, Phil, Will, and Aaron.
tail end.